Ladies and gentlemen, there are moments in life when pain becomes so private, so personal, that even the people closest to us have no idea what we're truly carrying. The nights spent in silence, the silent battles, the pillow soaked with tears no one ever saw. But here's the truth: just because it was hidden doesn't mean it was forgotten. Just because it was silent doesn't mean it was unnoticed. Every tear you cried in secret was seen. Every moment of heartbreak, every whisper of a prayer, every sacrifice you made quietly, it's all being accounted for. God is about to honor every tear you cried in secret. This season of hidden struggle is about to turn into a season of visible reward. So today I will share you 5 best key points. Number 1. Hidden pain still has purpose. There is a kind of pain that doesn't scream. It doesn't call attention to itself. It doesn't beg for sympathy or show itself to the world. It hides in quiet moments, in the drive home after a long day, in the stillness of the night, in the corners of your heart that you don't let anyone into. This kind of pain is the most dangerous, yet the most sacred hidden pain. And while it may feel invisible to the world, it is never meaningless. Hidden pain still has purpose. We often equate purpose with progress, with things going right, with doors opening, with visible success. But sometimes the most significant growth happens when nothing seems to be moving, when everything around you feels like it's falling apart, yet something within you is slowly being built. Pain has a strange way of revealing who we are and what we're made of. It introduces us to a version of ourselves we didn't know existed, strength we didn't know we had, and faith we didn't realize we were capable of holding. There are times when you're crying behind closed doors, trying to keep it all together in front of everyone else. You show up with a smile, you keep moving forward, and no one knows the battle you're fighting internally. But even in that place, in that lonely space, something sacred is happening. The pain may be hidden, but the transformation is very real. In those moments, your character is being shaped, your patience is being tested, your soul is being refined like gold in fire. And though you can't see it yet, the foundation for your next season is being laid in silence. Hidden pain teaches us resilience. It teaches us how to stand when we want to collapse. It teaches us how to lean on faith when feelings fail us. It teaches us how to trust the process, even when the process is breaking us. Most people want to be strong, but strength is never born in comfort. It's forged in suffering. It's shaped in silence. It's developed in darkness. And the people who emerge the strongest are often those who have endured the most, not in public battles, but in private ones. We live in a world that celebrates visibility. We applaud the public wins, the achievements, the milestones, but no one claps for the unseen endurance. No one sees the tears that never fell in front of anyone. No one applauds the nights you stayed up wrestling with doubt but woke up anyway. No one notices the effort it took just to show up, but God does. He sees what no one else sees, and in His hands, even your hidden pain is working towards something beautiful. There is a divine reason why some seasons feel like isolation. It's not to punish you, it's to prepare you. When the pain is hidden, it often means the work is internal. It means something deep is happening beneath the surface. Like roots growing in the soil, unseen but essential. If you pulled the plant up too soon just because you couldn't see growth, you'd miss the entire purpose of the process. It's the same with us. Just because you can't see the outcome yet doesn't mean the process isn't working. Just because your healing isn't visible doesn't mean it isn't happening. You may not be able to explain why you're going through what you're going through. You may not even fully understand it yourself. But pain is a teacher, and the pain you hide is still part of the lesson. It teaches compassion, it sharpens wisdom, it deepens empathy. You begin to understand others in a way you never could have before. You begin to listen differently, to speak with more purpose, to live with more depth. Hidden pain makes you more human, more connected, more real. And here's the most powerful part: nothing is wasted. Not one tear, not one moment of ache, not one silent night. God does not allow you to suffer for no reason. He is too intentional to be careless with your story. Every moment you've endured alone, afraid, unsure, is building something inside of you that will serve you in the days to come. The pain that was hidden will become strength that's revealed. The tears you cried in silence will become wisdom you share out loud. The nights you barely survived will become testimonies of what you overcame. So don't resent the hidden pain. Don't rush out of it. Let it do its work. Let it dig deep and clear space for the blessings that are coming. Let it stretch you, grow you, and prepare you. It won't last forever. One day, the light will shine on the very places that once felt dark. And when it does, you'll realize it wasn't just about surviving, it was about becoming. Becoming wiser, becoming stronger, becoming the version of you that can carry the weight of your purpose with grace. Pain that's hidden is still seen. Pain that's hidden is still powerful. And pain that's hidden is never without purpose. Number 2, you're seen. Even when you feel invisible, there are few things more painful than feeling invisible. You walk into a room and no one looks up. You speak and it feels like your words fall flat. You try to show up with strength, with hope, with love, but it seems like no one notices. It's a lonely kind of silence. You wonder if what you do even matters, if who you are even matters. You may be surrounded by people and still feel unseen, like your presence doesn't make a difference. But the truth is deeper than what you feel. You are seen even when you feel invisible. Feelings lie. They tell you that because people don't acknowledge your efforts, they must not matter. They whisper that because no one noticed your pain must not be valid. They convince you that because no one clapped for your small victories, you must not be doing enough. But the truth is, your value has never been tied to visibility. It has always been tied to purpose. And purpose doesn't need an audience to exist. It doesn't need applause to be real. It simply is. You're seen not by the crowd, but by the one who truly matters. When no one else noticed how hard you tried, he did. When no one else saw the tears you wiped away before stepping out the door, he did. When you held your tongue to keep the peace, when you gave without expecting anything in return, when you forgave without an apology, those moments didn't go unseen. They were sacred, they were powerful, and they were seen by eyes that miss nothing. You see, being unseen by people doesn't mean you're forgotten by God. People are limited, they're distracted, they miss things. They overlook others, but God is different. He sees the hidden places. He notices the quiet acts of kindness, the silent prayers, the strength it took just to get out of bed. He sees the courage it takes to keep believing when everything around you is telling you to give up. He sees what others ignore, and his recognition is not shallow or fleeting. It is eternal and deeply personal. Sometimes the feeling of invisibility is actually a sign that you're being protected. Not overlooked, but hidden. Hidden from unnecessary noise. Hidden from premature exposure. Hidden until the right moment comes, the moment when your preparation meets purpose. It's in those hidden seasons where character is formed, where motives are purified, where identity is strengthened. It's where you learn to live not for attention, but from intention. And that kind of strength can't be shaken. The world teaches us to chase validation, to measure our worth by how many people notice us, follow us, praise us. But if you live by their validation, you'll die by their rejection, because the same people who celebrate you one day can forget you the next. That's why it's so important to ground your identity in something deeper, something eternal. You don't need to be seen by everyone to know you're significant. You just need to know you're seen by the one who created you with purpose. It takes maturity to keep showing up when no one notices. It takes real strength to keep being kind, to keep working hard, to keep loving others when it feels like no one appreciates it. But every seed sown in faith will eventually bring a harvest, even if no one clapped when you planted it. And sometimes the harvest is even greater when the work was done in silence, because you weren't doing it for approval. You were doing it from a place of conviction. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are not irrelevant. Your presence changes things. Your words matter. Your existence carries weight. Just because someone didn't say thank you doesn't mean your effort was meaningless. Just because they didn't see your pain doesn't mean it wasn't real. And just because you feel alone doesn't mean you are. Even in the moments where your presence seems to go unnoticed, God is moving on your behalf. He's opening doors you don't even know about. He's aligning people and opportunities that will intersect your life at the right time. He's working in ways that your eyes haven't seen yet, and your heart can't fully understand. But just because you can't see him, doesn't mean he can't see you. And maybe, just maybe, this season is teaching you how to see yourself differently. To stop waiting for permission to believe in your own worth. To stop relying on others to define your value. To recognize that being unseen by people doesn't lessen your light. Your value was never in their recognition, it's in your existence. You are seen by God, you are chosen, you are called, and you are deeply, eternally loved. So hold your head high, keep walking in integrity, keep being kind, keep showing up, not because the world sees you, but because you know who you are. And know this: the same God who saw you when no one else did is the same God who will elevate you when the time is right. You're not invisible, you are just being refined, and the world will soon see what heaven has known all along: you were always worthy of being seen. Number 3. Private faith leads to public favor. Faith is not always loud. Sometimes it's not shouted from platforms or shared in inspirational posts. Sometimes faith looks like a whisper in the dark, a quiet decision to keep going. A moment where you trust even though nothing around you makes sense. Real faith often happens in private, behind the scenes, in the silence, when no one is watching. And it is in those very moments, the hidden ones, that something powerful is being built. Because private faith always leads to public favor, there is something sacred about believing in something that no one else can see. It's a deep, personal conviction that doesn't depend on applause, approval, or recognition. It's choosing to walk by faith, not by sight, even when everything in you wants to turn back. That kind of faith is not weak, it's the strongest kind there is. It is the kind of faith that heaven honors and rewards. You may not have an audience, but you have God's attention, and He never forgets what you do in faith. Private faith is when you pray and no one knows. It's when you say no to temptation, even though no one would have found out. It's when you give generously, serve quietly, show up faithfully, not for show, but because you know who you are and who you belong to. It's waking up and showing up when you feel discouraged. It's holding on to your purpose even when nothing is going right. It's trusting that your breakthrough is coming even when your heart is breaking. The world measures success by visibility, how many people see you, how many followers, likes, or shares you have, but God measures depth. He looks at the heart. He honors the unseen, the secret acts of obedience, the hidden sacrifices, the decisions you made in silence because your spirit knew it was right. And when God decides it's time to reward that kind of faith, no one can stop the favor that follows. What was done in private becomes the reason for what is celebrated in public. Public favor is not about fame, it's about fruit. It's about results that cannot be explained except by the hand of God. It's about walking into rooms you didn't campaign for. It's about receiving blessings you didn't force open because your character was developed in the dark. When you build your foundation in faith, the structure God places on top of it can withstand the pressure of success. He will not promote you into a place your integrity cannot sustain. That's why private faith matters so much. It's what prepares you for the favor that's coming. You may feel like nothing is changing, like your prayers aren't being heard, like your consistency doesn't matter, but there is a reason why seeds are planted in the ground out of sight. Growth happens before it's seen. Roots go deep before fruit comes up. And in the same way, your private faith is creating unseen strength. You are becoming someone who can carry the weight of blessing with humility, someone who can lead with wisdom because you were refined through waiting. God honors those who trust Him in the dark. He sees the one who keeps praying when there's no answer. He sees the heart that still worships in the middle of the storm. He watches the one who refuses to compromise, even when compromise would make things easier. And because He sees all of it, He knows exactly how and when to bring favor that makes people stop and ask, "How did that happen?" And your only answer will be faith, quiet, private, persistent faith. The favor that follows private faith isn't random. It's the result of preparation, surrender, and obedience. You weren't chasing status, you were chasing God. You weren't trying to be impressive, You were trying to be faithful. And because of that, your life begins to reflect the fingerprints of divine intervention. Doors open, opportunities arise, peace surrounds you, not because you manipulated your way to the top, but because you trusted your way through the valley. Some of the greatest stories ever written began with private faith, with someone choosing to believe before anyone else did. They were misunderstood, underestimated, and even mocked, but they didn't stop. And eventually, the very people who doubted them witnessed the fruit of their faith. That's what God does. He takes what was hidden and brings it to light, not to boost egos, but to reveal His glory. To show that favor doesn't follow fame, it follows faith. So if you're in a season where you're doing all the right things and it feels like no one sees it, don't lose heart. Keep showing up. Keep trusting. Keep believing. Your private faith is doing more than you can imagine. It's building a future. It's aligning you with purpose. And in time, the reward will come not because you demanded it, but because you were faithful when no one was watching. Private faith is never wasted. It is the soil where greatness grows. It is the fire where character is forged. And it is the reason why one day you will walk in favor that can only be explained by heaven's hand on your life. Keep the faith even in secret because the public favor is already being written in your name. Number 4. Delay is not denial, it's hard to wait. Especially when your heart is ready, your mind is focused, and your spirit is full of expectation. You've prayed, you've prepared, you've positioned yourself for the breakthrough, but nothing seems to be moving. Days turn into weeks and weeks into months, maybe even years, and in that quiet space between believing and receiving, doubt starts to whisper. Maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe you're not good enough. Maybe it wasn't meant for you. But let this truth sink deep into your soul. Delay is not denial. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. Timing is everything. What feels like a setback might actually be a setup. What seems like silence could be preparation. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. Sometimes, the delay is the very thing that ensures when you do walk into what you've been praying for, you'll be ready to sustain it. You don't want a blessing you're not prepared to carry. You want timing that aligns with maturity, wisdom, and divine strategy. Delay can feel like rejection, but it's often protection. There are doors you thought were perfect, and you were frustrated when they didn't open, only to later realize that they would have led you into something that could have damaged your spirit, distracted your purpose, or delayed your growth. Not every opportunity is the right one. Not every yes is a blessing. And sometimes the most powerful gift God can give you is a not yet. There are things in your life that are still in progress, and that's okay. You don't need to have everything figured out to trust that something good is coming. Delay builds character, it stretches faith, it teaches patience. It reveals what's in your heart, whether you're in love with the promise or the process. Anyone can believe when it's easy, but when nothing makes sense and you still choose to believe, that's real faith. The truth is, waiting seasons are working seasons. You may not see the results yet, but something is happening under the surface. Just like a seed planted in soil, the roots are growing long before the stem breaks through the ground. The foundation is being built before the structure ever rises. What you're doing in the quiet, the discipline, the inner healing, the late-night prayers, the hard choices, the personal growth, all of it matters. None of it is wasted. You may not understand why the wait is so long, but that doesn't mean the wait is meaningless. Sometimes the wait is the answer. Sometimes the wait allows the wrong things to fall away so the right things can come together. Sometimes the wait exposes what you need to deal with before you move forward. And sometimes the wait is simply refining your vision so you can see the difference between what you want and what you truly need. When you learn to trust the delay, you start to find peace in places you once felt anxious. You stop rushing the process and start respecting it. You stop comparing your journey to others and start honoring your own pace, because what's for you will never pass you by, and when the time is right, no force in the world can stop what's meant for you. There are people who gave up just before their breakthrough. They let delay convince them it was over. They let frustration become final. Don't be that person. Stay the course. Keep showing up. Keep believing even when it hurts. Keep preparing as if the opportunity is already on its way, because in a very real sense it is. Delay is not a no, it's just a wait, and that wait is sacred. Every great story includes a waiting season. Every strong person has had to endure something that tested their limits. Every beautiful success is preceded by hidden work. Your story is no different. Just because it's taking time doesn't mean it's not happening. It means the foundation is being built strong enough to support the blessing that's coming. And when it finally does arrive, when the door opens, the healing comes, the breakthrough happens, you'll see why the delay was necessary. You'll see how things were being orchestrated in ways you couldn't see. You'll realize that the time you spent waiting wasn't wasted, it was woven into your destiny with purpose. The delay wasn't a detour, it was part of the route. So lift your head, wipe your tears, shake off the doubt. You are not forgotten, you are not overlooked. What you carry still matters, your dreams are still valid, your prayers are still powerful. The delay is not the end. It's a pause with purpose. It's a moment of divine alignment, and it's preparing you for more than you asked for. Keep going, keep trusting, keep building, keep becoming. Delay is not denial, it's just the space where God prepares you for the favor you're about to walk into. Number 5. What was done in secret will be rewarded openly. There's something deeply powerful about doing the right thing when no one is watching. In a world that thrives on recognition, where validation is often measured in likes, followers, and applause, choosing to act with integrity in silence takes uncommon strength. But the truth is, the most impactful things are often done away from the spotlight. The quiet prayers, the unseen sacrifices, the battles you fought behind closed doors, they all matter. And the time will come when what was done in secret will be rewarded openly. You may not have received credit. Maybe no one ever said thank you. Maybe the love you gave was never returned. The work you poured yourself into went unnoticed. You forgave when you could have stayed bitter. You stayed loyal when it would have been easier to walk away. You kept showing up with faith and excellence, even when it felt like no one cared. And now you wonder, did any of it even matter? It did. It all mattered, because the unseen doesn't mean unvalued. Just because people didn't recognize it doesn't mean God didn't. Every act of kindness, every moment of obedience, every tear you cried in the quiet, every seed you planted in faith, it's been seen, it's been recorded, and it's producing something far greater than you can imagine. You may have done it in secret, but it won't stay hidden forever. What you built in the shadows is about to shine in the light. There's a principle that echoes through time. What you sow in secret, you will reap in public. That seed you buried when no one was watching, it's growing, even if you can't see it yet. Just like a seed takes root in the darkness before it ever breaks the surface, your faithfulness in silence is setting the stage for a visible harvest. And when that harvest comes, it will be clear to everyone this was not the result of chance, but of quiet, consistent, faithful work. Sometimes we want quick results. We want instant recognition. But true character is proven in the waiting. It's shown in the moments where no one claps and you still choose to show up. That's when strength is forged. That's when real leaders are born, not in the limelight, but in the hidden places. The greatest rewards are not for those who performed for attention, but for those who lived with purpose even when no one was watching. Maybe you've been misunderstood. Maybe you've been overlooked. Maybe you've poured out love, energy, and effort, and the return feels painfully small. But don't let that discourage you. Keep going. Keep doing good, even if it feels like it's unnoticed, because every act of goodness is a seed, and every seed has a season. When your season comes, no one will be able to deny the favor on your life. You don't need to announce your goodness. You don't need to post every sacrifice. You don't have to prove your worth to anyone. Let your life speak. Let the fruit of your consistency speak louder than any words ever could. Because when the reward comes, and it will come in a way that makes it undeniably clear. This was God's doing. The spotlight will find you, not because you chased it, but because you were faithful with what you had in the dark. And here's what's even more beautiful: when you're rewarded openly, it's not just for you. It's for the people who doubted you, the ones who wrote you off, the ones who questioned your motives or mocked your journey. They'll have no choice but to acknowledge what you've become. But more importantly, your reward will be a testimony to others who are still in their hidden seasons. You'll become proof that faithfulness pays off, that doing the right thing, even in secret, is never in vain. There will come a moment when the tables turn, when everything that was built quietly starts to echo loudly. When the investments of prayer, discipline, and sacrifice begin to overflow into opportunities, favor, and influence. Not because you demanded it, but because you were trustworthy with the small, private things. You didn't cut corners, you didn't seek shortcuts, you just stayed faithful. And now the time has come for that quiet integrity to speak louder than any platform ever could. You didn't need recognition to do good. You didn't need attention to stay pure. You didn't need confirmation to keep moving forward. And because of that, because you were faithful when no one was watching, now God is about to show everyone what he saw all along. The reward is coming, and it won't be subtle. It will be visible, undeniable, and undeniable proof that every unseen moment mattered. So keep planting, keep praying, keep serving, keep walking in integrity. Even when no one sees, especially when no one sees, because nothing done in love, in faith, in sacrifice is ever wasted. What was done in secret is building something eternal, and soon, what was hidden will be honored. What was quiet will be celebrated, and what was done in secret will be rewarded openly. You may feel tired, you may feel forgotten, but you are neither. You are on the edge of a breakthrough. The God who saw you cry in secret is about to lift you in public. He's about to turn your private pain into a powerful platform. Keep walking, keep believing, keep holding on, because every tear you cried in secret is about to become a harvest of honor, favor, and glory that no one can take from you. Thank you.